Alright, so today I'm going to be installing these 3157 amber LED bulbs that I got from ProLights onto my 2007 Subaru Legacy GT. So this obviously isn't just a tutorial applicable for LEDs, but any turn signal change that you'd ever want to do. Currently right now I just have the factory halogen amber turn signals with basically cleared out headlight housings, and these have a retrofitted HID system. They're TSXR HID projectors with D2S bulbs and ballasts. So I'm just going to show you how to kind of update this, give your car a little bit more of a modern look, or just a guide to how to change your turn signals if they're burnt out. So here we go. So first things you want to do is basically jack the car up. This isn't completely necessary. You could do it an alternative way of just turning each wheel to either the left or the right and working on one side at a time. This way it's just a little bit easier because if the wheels are off the ground, then you can easily turn the wheels without actually having to get into the car and turn themselves. So here we go. So remember, when you're working under your car, it's always safety first. So I got jack stands on both sides, basically towards the rear part of the front lower control arms, and a jack in the center, just in case those decide to go, because you never know. Better be safe than sorry. Alright, now next thing you want to do is just turn the wheel. In this case we're on the passenger side right now, so we're going to turn the wheel left so we have the most access to this inner fender liner panel. And if you're like me, you probably have your steering wheel lock on. Alright, so now that your wheel's turned all the way in, basically there's a little tab here where it meets the fender and the bumper. Just kind of pull that back until you have enough access to get to the back of the bulbs. Now it's going to be super hard to see, but because it's very dark in there, but once you have this pried open enough, you'll see a gray connector of where the signal should be. You just pop that out, and then you should be able to get to your old turn signals. Alright, so here we have a side-by-side of the ProLights turn signal bulbs. These are their new LED ones, and then these are the original halogen ones. As you can see, the halogen one, the orange reflective coating on it is kind of like chipping off and stuff, so it's probably about time to replace these anyhow. And then these are going to be much cleaner. You don't actually see really any amber until they're turned on, so they're going to look a lot nicer in this housing, just kind of keeping everything that shiny chrome look instead of the amber. So installation is just the other way around. You just plug this guy in, and then the gray connector that goes into the actual headlight housing itself, it's you turn it left to pull it out, and you turn it right to tighten it down. Before I like to button everything up, just gonna turn the hazards on and make sure that this works. So as you can see, the lights are actually turning on, so that means we're good to go, and we can plug it back in and move on to the other side. And after you plug it in, basically you just gotta tuck this fender liner back in. Excuse the car, it's really dirty. It's winter here, so we got all kinds of dirt and grime, so probably the best thing to do is to wash your car. Paint on this car isn't too great, so I'm not too concerned, but if you want to avoid any damage, that's probably the best way to do it. Wash your car before you do this. Kind of just work your way from the topmost point, kind of just slowly tuck everything back in. So that's the new LED turn signal bulb, just sitting pretty inside its housing. Just to give you a comparison of a before and after of what these look like inside the headlight housing. So overall, a lot nicer look. You don't see the amber. Actually, it looks like there's no turn signals in there at all. But when they light up, they're nice and bright. So it's a nice little upgrade. Alright, so after you install LED turn signals, since they're not the same resistance as incandescent bulbs, you're going to get this phenomenon called hyperflash. And this is basically, it's mimicking what would happen when your turn signals are burnt out. So when your turn signals are burnt out, usually the indicator stock will tell you that one of the bulbs is burnt out by flashing really quickly, like this. And this is called hyperflash. How you can fix that is with a resistor, and in this case we're going to be installing the Smart Tap Relay by Diode Dynamics. Alright, so to get access to the turn flasher relay, the first thing you're going to want to do is start removing some interior pieces. First thing, we're going to remove this panel right here, and then we're going to move on to the drop down panel that's basically just above the pedals. This one's pretty easy. You just kind of slowly work your way around. There's tabs just connecting it to the actual center console. So just be careful when you're removing this, you're not breaking any clips. And once you pop that out. Alright, so to remove this kick panel, basically all you have to do is there's a Phillips head on either side. So you just kind of loosen those. It's these little pop tabs that have a Phillips head in the middle, and once you loosen that, it pops out. Then you can pull the entire assembly out. And then the center one is just one of these simple pop tabs. So basically, I like to do is just loosen the two on the side, and then pop each one of those sides free, and then just pull down from the middle, and you should get the whole assembly loosened up. So now it's kind of difficult to see right there where you have your blue fuses. The flasher relay actually lives on the side of that. So what you want to do is there's two tabs. One, it's going to be really tough to see, but one is next to the first bottom 15 amp resistor right there. It's right to the side of that, and the other one is further down. And if you pop those two out, you should be able to get that entire assembly loose. Alright, so once you have those two clips removed, basically you just push those two in at the same time, and you pull the whole assembly forward, and it kind of comes out. So you can see that was basically the entire relay assembly we saw before. And if you see here, that beige connector, that relay is the turn signal relay. So that's held in by a clip. It's very hard to see. I'm going to try to do this without breaking it, but once you have that clip free, then you can swap it out with your new flasher relay.